Hey everybody, Justin here. I appreciate you checking out this video. And this is a video on something I call a bootstrap poem, as in the phrase like to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. And this is the idea of it's kind of like a found poem, but you're not taking words, you're taking entire lines, and you're not taking it from other people's poems. You're taking it from your own poems that you've written in the past. So that's what I'm calling a bootstrap poem. There is a term, I forget it, but there is a term for when you take entire lines from other people's poems. Personally, I find that style a little bit basically plagiarism. Like if you take 10 lines, if you take 10 lines, like one line from 10 different poems and put them together, I feel taking entire lines from other people's poems is a bit much. Taking words is fine, that's found poetry, but you can't really plagiarize yourself. So taking entire lines from yourself, your own poems, makes more sense to me. So I wanted to show you how I do that. And like for a lot of my poetry, I use Excel to speed things up and to organize things. So what I do is in this column here, this GQ column, I just have every line that I've written. I just every poem, every line from every poem I've written, just pasted into this column. Now it's sorted alphabetically. That's why, these are all starting with A here. But you can see I just have, um, a lot there. So a lot to sample from. And in fact, I counted them up and I have, 13,250 lines. And that's, growing every day or every week I write a poem. So what I do is I will randomly select. I mean, I could go through, one by one. But this is where the computer comes in handy because I can just randomly select a line and then look at it and see if I like it or not. So here's how I do that. And I've explained this general method in some of my found poetry articles on statisticool.com. And I use the index function. And so what this does is this will return an entry from column. It just happens to be column GQ, just because I have lots and lots of columns in this spreadsheet. But say it's column A or something, right? So I search this column and I'll return an entry. Which entry do I return? Well, I'll return the entry from 1 to 13,250. So it chooses a row randomly and then returns the entry. So if it chose, 5, it would return, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the side of the pool. Okay. This count A is just a function that counts the number of non-missing cells in a column. In other words, it counts how many cells have entries in them. And ran between is kind of what it sounds like. It chooses a number between 1 and that number. An index will just return the entry. So if I press F9, well, first of all, here I just have 10 samples from this column. Now, I'm not saying that I take what's here and paste it and that's my poem. I'm saying I'll look at these realizations, I'll look at these samples, and then if I like it, I'll copy and paste it and make a poem. So I've already done one that I did earlier before this video started. I saw scraps of exploding stars, and then I saw another one cast into the sky and into my bones. And I kind of liked that. It reminded me of Carl Sagan's, like, we are star stuff. Your bodies are made of stars that went nova and cast their elements all across the universe type of idea. So let me press F9, and what that will do is that will create new random numbers, which will refresh these examples here, these samples. And so I would simply look in that column and see if there's anything that I like for my poem. And I would, if so, copy and paste it. If not, I'll just refresh and get some new samples to look at and continue until I have a poem that I like. And I mean, the rules are up to you. You can say, okay, whatever my line is from a previous poem, I'm keeping it exactly the same. Or you can have your own rules, and you're allowed to edit it. You can make plurals singular and singular plurals, or you can add a word like, if into my bones you don't quite like, you can say, into my something bones. You can edit it however you want. Of course, there's no rules except the ones you put on yourself. So, well, okay. Well, I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share what I mean by a bootstrap poem, and then share how I actually make a bootstrap poem. So I appreciate you checking out this video, and I'll see you next one. Bye bye.